E vedete alle mie spalle il fumo di un bombardamento che ha colpito e potete sentire i bombardamenti alle nostre spalle e ci dicono di andare.
I'm Carl Deconinck with a special edition of Interference with our very own Luca Steinmann in Beirut. Hi, Luca. It looks like it's very serious over there. Can you give us an assessment of the situation right now?
Well, there has just been clashes and bombings on the area of Dahiyeh, southern Beirut, which is the headquarters of Hezbollah. I've just been there with a group of journalist colleagues. We just came out from that area. We entered it, and then there was an evacuation call. Hezbollah people started to shoot with Kalashnikovs, probably in the air, like to tell us to leave the area because they had some information that Israel was going to bomb the area. And indeed, probably 1 hour later, the shelling started on the area. We entered this Dahiyeh city, this Dahiyeh neighborhood, and no one was to see around, almost no one. But then after the shootings of Hezbollah guy, people started coming outside from houses, from courtyards, and all together escaping in a big row. Like to leave this area. Why is this happening? Because Beirut and all Lebanon is basically a chessboard. There are some areas controlled by Hezbollah, which are bombed by Israel. Other areas where Hezbollah is not as present as in those areas, which are not shelled by Israel. And so we are seeing on the one side the areas where Hezbollah is headquartered, many times destroyed and continuously shelled, while in other parts of the city, life goes on, restaurants are opened, and shops are open. So basically, this is the situation in Beirut as I could witness it today.
Could you tell us how many people are there on the run? Can you give us a ballpark figure?
The official numbers say around 80,000 people have been internally displaced within the last few days. To these people, we should add another very high number, way higher number of displaced from the war of 2024. There was another war, as many of you can recall, in October 2024. So you have definitely tens of thousands of Lebanese displaced, plus because of the historical situation in Lebanon, also a very high number of Syrian and Palestinian refugees, thus making the social balance in the country sometimes precarious.
And the refugees now, where do they go?
There are shelters welcoming them. We're talking of internal displaced, not refugees. The Lebanese people that are escaping from the bombings of Israel since they were based in areas where Hezbollah was present. These people are going partially to shelters which are provided by political parties, by NGOs, by the government, by the church, and other institutions, or they are just visiting relatives, living together with relatives in other parts of the city or of the country, or they are filling hotels, mainly cheap hotels, in the city center of the capital, Beirut. So if you go there, you would find many hotels being full of families, men, women, children that just moved from the Hezbollah areas to find security there.
There are also UN troops in Lebanon, if I'm not mistaken. What are those guys doing?
They are located mainly in the south. There is a UNIFIL presence, so this mission of the United Nations here since many years, which was supposed kind of to separate the two sides to avoid any further military confrontation. And at least since 2024, we are seeing that having great difficulties because the two sides, Hezbollah and Israel, are fighting against each other strongly. And as for what we know, the troops of the UNIFIL are in their bases in the south of Lebanon. Most of them are not going out from the bases, and they are basically keeping their positions there, watching what's happening. And I think that it's very difficult for them to act since there is not an official mandate by the United Nations on how to act. Different countries have different views on that.
How is your situation right now? Are you secure?
My situation right now is secure because I left the area of Dahye, which is under shelling right now, or was under shelling minutes ago. So I'm probably 1 hour ago, or 20 or half an hour ago around. I left the suburbs, and right now around me there is a normal life ongoing, many cars, and so where I am is secure. But if you see like the areas a couple of not even a couple of kilometers from here, they are in a great danger.
There's also talk of Israeli troops going in and also Lebanese troops going in. Is there a plan of them to meet somewhere in the middle, or what is the proposed future of that movement?
And the situation is very complicated because Israeli troops invaded again Lebanon, so they are inside Lebanon in the south of the country. There was a position taken by the Lebanese government to de facto consider, this was very, very recent, 2 days ago, to de facto consider illegal the armed branch of Hezbollah, thus giving mandate to the Lebanese army, the official Lebanese army, to disarm Hezbollah. The point is that how is going the Lebanese army to do it, or is the Lebanese army going to do this? And in case they would this lead to an internal civil war within Lebanon between Hezbollah and other factions? That's the main issue. For now, as far as we know, this is not happening, and the war is taking place between Hezbollah and Israel still.
And if you speak with locals, how is their view on Hezbollah and their actions? Because I've heard a lot of people are actually tired of the war, tired of Hezbollah. Could this be like a moment that Hezbollah jumped the shark and went too far?
Since many months, and especially in the last hours, people are very tired. Many people, I cannot speak of everyone, of course, but the vibe you get from many is that they're tired. Every couple of years, every couple of months, a new war is breaking, and so plus there have been in Lebanon still is a big economic crisis, so they are just fed up with war. And some of them are criticizing Hezbollah because they feel to be driven into a war that is not felt as their wars, or at least they're felt to be driven into a war that they think they cannot win. But of course, this is not valid for the entire population of Lebanon. There is a part that is supporting Hezbollah, a part that is against, a part that is fed up of all the situation. But yes, this is a very important and a very crucial moment for Hezbollah. We will understand in the next few weeks and months if this movement, if this party, if this militia will continue to exist as we used to know since now.
And are you able to assess the strength of Hezbollah? Because as I remember, they had the huge beeper attack from Israel against them. They lost a lot of their leadership. They're being bombarded right now. Are they still a strong fighting force, or are they weaker than before?
Definitely weaker than 2024, especially after that the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Said Nasrallah, was killed, and since then, almost all the leadership of Hezbollah has been killed by Israel, and we can say Israel is trying to do against Hezbollah what Israel and the USA are doing against the leadership of the Islamic Republic of Iran. It's very difficult to assess the strength of Hezbollah right now. We cannot see how many weapons they have and how long they can keep on fighting. But this is not a war that is fought just in Lebanon. It's a larger war fought on the one side by Israel, the United States, and their allies, and on the other side by Iran, Hezbollah, and their other allies. There are two views of the Middle East that are confronting. The one, the pro-Western, Israel and the US, willing to implement the so-called Abraham Accords. And on the other side, you have the so-called acts of resistance led by Iran that is trying to put an end to this attempt by Israel and the US to implement the accords.
Before you told us about life is going as it always is in the parts where there is no fighting. Do the people have like all the necessities, electricity, water? Is everything running? Or do you also notice that there's a war going on and some things are under pressure?
I wouldn't say that life goes on exactly like usual in the parts where there are no fightings, but let's say on a superficial, watching it superficially, someone could think so, because like the shops are open, offices are open, bars and restaurants are open, sometimes full, parties are going on. We have to consider that Lebanon has been living in a crisis since decades right now. Since already at least almost 10 years, there are very big problems of electricity in the country, and lots of buildings are having electricity and water through private supplies, through generators. So yes, there is a lack of electricity in the country, but this is not something that came after this the start of this recent war. It's something I would say endemic of the last few years of existence of this country, and that's also why so many people are fed up with this situation, because they have been living in poverty. Many of them, they have been living in crisis and war situation for too long time, and most of them just want to have a normal life. And here's where what's up is, this is my opinion, losing some ground, because many people are feeling being driven into a war by Hezbollah, and they don't want to be driven into this war.
Okay. And what's your personal plan now, the coming days in Lebanon and in Beirut? Who are you planning to visit? What are you planning to do?
It's very difficult to plan, because we don't know where there will be shellings, we don't know where there will be fighting. So every day I plan for the day after, but for sure there will be, unfortunately, lots of stuff to report on.
Okay, then I will let you go and continue to do your job, but be safe and please come home in one piece.
Thank you, Carl. Thanks everyone. Bye.